Hi guys, this is Danishwaran. The topic we are going to cover today is environmental analysis in the context of strategic management. This topic is useful for MBA, BBA students as well as UGC NET aspirants. I hope you will learn a lot from this section. Let's get started. The agenda of our section is to understand the meaning of strategy, then its process, and our main focus is to understand what is environmental analysis and its type. Firstly, we begin our section with understanding the strategy and its process through an example. Imagine you are a college student with a big exam coming up in 2 weeks, and you also have a part-time job and other assignment to manage. How will you deal with this situation? You will develop a strategy, right? Because there is no other option, you need to write the exam. So, to face the exam, you develop some strategy. Before developing strategy, you will set some goal, right? The goal might be securing at least 85 percentage mark or uh, securing pass mark. So the goal may be differ from person to person, but he or she have must have some goal, right? Then analyze your situation. Here the situation is exam is coming up in 2 weeks, which is around 14 days, and you also doing some part-time job for 4 hours, and you requires 7 to 8 hours sleep to maintain a good body health. So based on this situation, you develop a plan. The plan might be look like this. This is the framework based on your situation you develop to achieve your goal. After developing this status plan, you must to implement it. After implementing, you need to monitor and adjust it, because this is the tentative framework. Based on your progress toward your goal, you need to adjust it. Okay, this example is perfectly aligned with what is strategy and strategic management process. Okay, so strategic management is a blueprint that helps the organization to achieve its long-term mission and goal. So strategic management is a process, continuous process. Firstly, you need to formulate the strategy, then implement it and control it. Whether the strategy is achieving the desired outcome or not is managed by the strategic management. So it is a continuous process of formulating, implementing and controlling the organization strategy to achieve its maximum or desired outcome. Then we are going to see what is strategic management process. The Fred David developed a model of strategic management process which comprises of 3 steps. First one is strategic formulation, then strategic implementation and strategy evaluation. Within strategy formulation, we have several steps. Develop vision and mission statement, environmental analysis, which is our core concept we are going to focus today, then establishing long-term objective. After analyzing the situation, this is very similar to our example. There we develop our goal and then analyze the current situation is nothing but environmental analysis. Then we develop a plan. After developing the plan, which is developing plan is nothing but choosing the strategy, generate, evaluate and choose the strategy. After develop the plan, we implement the plan, right? So implement the strategy. After implementing it, we need to monitor and adjust, which is nothing but measure and evaluate performance. Based on the result, we need to adjust it so that we will attain our desired outcome. Okay, so this is a model of strategic management process which was developed by Fred David. Okay, before we move on to our core of this section, we need to understand what is strategic intent, which is our very beginning step of strategic management process. So intent literally mean purpose, intention. We all have some intention. Today my intent is to teach what is strategy and environmental analysis before environmental analysis and its method used by the organization. So this is my intent of today's section, right? So everybody has some intent. So what is the intent for developing a strategy, right? It is must. Before developing strategy, we need to fix some goals. That is nothing but a vision, mission, goals, objective. So the strategic intent is nothing but overarching goal or desired leadership position that an organization aim to achieve in the future. So it's referred to the overarching goal, right? So it's about defining what the organization want to accomplish and why it's want to achieve it. So these are the things comes under strategic intent. The strategic intent has its hierarchy, which is vision, then mission, then goal, objectives, and plan. Let me see one by one in detail. So what is mean by vision? Every company has their own vision. Okay, so vision describes a long-term aspiration goal, what an organization wants to achieve in the future. Okay, here to be recognized as the most innovative company in the educational technology industry is a better example for vision. Then mission is a purpose of organization existence. So it's outline why you exist and why what you aim to achieve in the short to medium term. Let's say to develop cutting edge educational tool that enhance learning experience and outcomes for students globally. If we can enhance the learning experience through the cutting edge educational tool, we will achieve our vision, that is nothing but most innovative company in the educational technology. So vision is the long term statement which company want to be in future, but mission is the short or medium term. Okay, so developing a cutting edge tool is not going to be take long, right? So our vision will help the mission, help the organization to achieve its vision. Goals and objectives. Goals is a broad long-term aims that define desired outcome. Okay, they derived from vision and mission and provide direction for where you want to go. Okay, so increase market share by 25% in the next 3 years. Launch a new educational app within next year. This is the better example for goals. Objectives. Objectives are usually in SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, reliable, and time bound. So this is a specific and measurable action you take to achieve your goal. Okay, they are more precise and short term than goals, provide clear steps to achieve your broader aim. The best example for objectives are implementing a targeted market campaign to increase brand awareness by 10% in the next 6 months. Complete the app development and beta test by the end of the fourth quarter. So that's it. Let's move on to next slide. So now we are going to see what is environmental analysis. Environmental scanning, other also known as environmental analysis, is the continuous process of collecting information about the organization internal and external environment. So environment analysis is usually consist of two types. One is internal and external. Internal is nothing but within the organization. It focuses on employees, employers, top management, organization culture, and so on. External analysis consists of macroeconomic, government policies, legal, social, and so on. Now we are going to see various tools which is used to analyze both the internal and the external factors. Let's get started with the external analysis. The tools, we are going to see three tools to analyze the external factor. Firstly, we are going to focus on the most effective tool for analyzing the external factor is nothing but PESTEL. PESTEL is an acronym for political, economic, social, technology, environmental, and legal. So PESTEL is a framework used to analyze the external factor that can impact a business. So political includes government policies, regulations, political stability. Let's say Ukraine war is greatly affecting the what we say European countries' economy. So it is political, right? So now Ukraine has no stable political situation. Then economic factors include inflation, interest rate, and economic growth of a country. Social, it is focusing on population of the country, demographics, consumer preferences, lifestyle changes, cultural trends, and so on. Technological advancement and disruption. Today, in our current situation, all industries are disrupted by the arrival of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is now slowly growing in all the industries, right? So slowly all the organization are start to invest in artificial intelligence to maintain the competitive edge. So we need to consider this factor also while analyzing the external environment. Then environmental. So environmental factor is nowadays most important to maintain the sustainability. Most of the organization now adapt various uh, thing such various thing to help the nature to sustain for the future. So it include what we say environmental regulation may countries impose on a particular industry, resource availability, the impact of your business on the environment. Are there eco-friendly practices you can adapt or regulation you need to consider is focus on environmental factor. Legal aspects like labor law, consumer production laws, and intellectual property law, and so on. So these six factors are need to be analyzed under this tool. Okay, next we move on to next tool, which is very famous tool proposed by Michael Porter, who is considered as the father of modern strategic management. Okay, to understand the intensity of the competition, we are using uh, this well known or well regarded framework. Okay, so competitive landscape of an industry we can able to understand by using this tool. So it comprises of five forces: threat of new entrants, bargaining power, supplier power, threats of substitute, competitive rivalry. So what is meant by threat of new entrants? Let me see uh, this with an example. Suppose if I am going to start a coffee shop, okay, threat of new entrants is nothing but how easy or difficult it for a new company to enter the industry. So entering into the coffee shop industry is not going to be very tough, because opening a coffee shop requires some investments. Small starting a small cafe isn't difficult compared to other business, right? So it is relatively no threat of new entrants. So anybody can start a small cafe. Okay. Then bargaining power of supplier. How much power supplier have to influence price and terms? So here, in the context of coffee shop, the bargaining power of supplier is moderate. There are many coffee bean suppliers, right? So but the quality and price can vary. Large coffee chain might have more leverage to negotiate lower price with supply. Bargaining power of buyers. How much customer have to influence price and terms? So here, in the context of coffee shop, the bargaining power of buyer is moderate to high. Customer may have choices when it comes to coffee shop. They may switch brands or even make coffee at home if prices goes up too high. Threat of substitute. The availability of alternate product or services that could meet the same customer need. So in coffee shop, the threat of substitute is high, because anybody can the customer not only depend on coffee shop to make coffee, right? They can easily purchase the coffee powder, instant coffee powder. They can easily make it at home. So the customer not only depend on coffee shop, so there are other ways to consume coffee, uh, okay. So competitive rivalry is nothing but intensity of competition among existing player in the industry. So the here the coffee shop industry is crowded with the established brand, because it has numerous uh, numerous companies, okay, like Starbucks. And in India, every street have at least one coffee bar, right? So competitive rivalry is high when coming to the coffee shop industry. So this is what Potter's Five Force tool helps to understand the uh, competitive landscape of the industry. Next, we are going to see about internal analysis tools. So we are going to see two tools here. First one is Viro, valuable, rare, inimitable, organized. What is mean by valuable? So does the resource or capability generate value for a firm? Rare means, is the resource or capability rare among firms in the industry? Difficult to imitate, that is nothing but inimitability. Would it be difficult or expensive for other firms to imitate the resource or capability? Organized, is the firm effectively organized to capture the value that this resource or capability generates? I think you may understand by this, but we will see with an example. It will be greater for you. This is the flowchart for Viro analysis. It is the decision making flowchart, right? So whether your resource or capability valuable. If yes means go for rare. If your resource or capacity is rare, if yes means go for inimitable. If your product or capability is inimitable, then go for organize. If you organize the value of organization, organize the uh, resource or capacity which has rare value and inimitable, it will lead to the sustained competitive advantage. So the main concept of the Viru analysis is to maintain the sustained competitive advantage other than other industry, right? So based on this flowchart, we are going to develop a example by using the strengths of Netflix. Let me see two strengths here. The strength 2, we have a market presence and a platform availability that is unmatched in the streamlined service space. Yeah, Netflix revolutionized the entertainment industry by providing the streamlined service, right? So it's a really valuable, and it's rare, and it also inimitability also. Nobody, it is very costly for other company to compete with Netflix, because Netflix has huge market share in the service streamlined servicing market. So the Netflix cleverly used this advantage and organized it very well. So it is also automatically become yes. Then they achieve the competitive advantage through the strength number 2. If you see the strength number 1, we produce high value award winning content that is loved by customer. Yeah, it's true. It's a value for Netflix. Netflix um, produces various series dramas which is really impressive, but it's not rare, right? Anybody can create a high value award winning content, right? So it's not, it's a rare, it's never going to be a rare thing. So according to the flowchart, it is competitive part. Okay, then let we see the strength 4. We have one of the best corporate culture that help us attract and retain the best talent. This is never going to be value for the customer, right? It is a value for uh, employee branding. So it's never going to create the competitive advantage among its competitors, right? The customer never consider how employees are there within the company. They are consider only the products. Okay, so that's it. Next we are going to see another tool for analyzing the internal factor, which is nothing but value chain analysis, which was developed by Michael E. Porter. Value chain is the series of steps that are involved in an organization, right from the procurement of raw material till its post sale services. Okay, so it comprises all the supply chain activities. Okay, so Porter differentiate the value chain into two types: primary and secondary or support. Okay, under primary factor we have 5 factors, and secondary we have 4. Primary helps to design the final shape of the product and add value to it, and secondary helps to add value to the primary activities of the firm. Let me see the framework, you will get the idea. So inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, market and sale, after sale services are the primary activities which add value to the product, because here only we are adding value. In these processes we are adding value, right? Receiving, warehousing and inventory management. uh, when we effectively managing the inventory, we can retain its quality, so that we can able to produce the product in the quality manner. Okay, during the operation we shall uh, reduce what we say reduce the wastages. It will be help to uh, create the product the most valuable one. right? So these are the primary activities, because I already said it directly add value to the product, that is final product, right? So to support this primary activity, we need some secondary activities, which is nothing but infrastructures. Without building, how can we uh, operate these primary activities? And we need human force also to maintain, to produce these things or to operate these things. Technology development also necessary, then procurement. These four secondary activities are directly support the primary activities. So primary activities is directly add value to the product, the secondary activities add value to the primary activities. This is the these two activities helps to attain the marginal value. So it's very important framework, and important and effective framework that will help us to analyze the internal factors, because it covers all the internal aspects, right? So it will be the most effective framework to analyze the internal factors of the organization. So that's it. So these are the references, and I like to thank and congratulate for your patience, and I hope you enjoy my first section. All your suggestion and critics are welcome. I hope I will continue this series in future. Once again, thank you to all. All is well.